Welcome, one and all, humans and aliens, animals and non-human animals. I might have messed that up. To a match, a Company Heroes 2 match between the OKW, No Slew, also known as Slippy, and Creative Name, who you may remember from 2 shoutcasts ago if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're one of my Twitch viewers who have been here the whole time I've been casting. We are, of course, on Angeville. Lovely to have an Angeville cast finally. I haven't cast one of these matches since I've been back, but now I'm back, and now we're here, and we have a very classic Folks opening and Conscript opening from the players. So no shenanigans, except we have Tier 1. Does this mean we'll get a Sniper? Does this mean we'll get a Clown Car? Does this mean we'll get a Penal Battalion? Only time will tell. I'm sorry if I just gave you motion sickness, because we're doing it again, but in reverse. That's the main way to make Angeville interesting. Just zoom down that thoroughfare. Zoom, zoom, zoom. So straight to the cutoff. Or not straight to the cutoff, straight to the fuel, it looks like. Very bold. This is straight to the cutoff. Man, right across the jugular for the OKW player. Are we going to see some wire across this place? Are we? Classic Angeville strat? Or no? Yes? No? Maybe? What were these guys building? Sandbags. I could have predicted that because that's all they can build. So notice the disparity in capping orders. We have the Soviet player going ham on the left, first to the fuel and then linking up, whereas the German player straight to the cutoff and then later to the fuel. Also, man, a lot of cover coming up on these things while they're capping. These players, I feel like I'm watching Kodachrome or something. Back in the day, he would always just build something while he was busy doing something else. Although back in the day in Company Heroes 1, you couldn't build while you were capping. You couldn't do anything while you're capping. You couldn't even shoot while you're capping. You would click on the thing and they would just salute the flag until it got raised, like it works in real life. But they changed that for Company Heroes 2. Kodachrome would just fucking put wire all over the map. Great guy. Great guy. I miss him. Guys, you don't know the days of Kodachrome. I remember when Kodachrome, back in the day, you would purchase demo packs, you'd upgrade them at your HQ, and nobody ever did that. He upgraded demo packs. Back in the day, you couldn't hop over fences. You had to destroy them. So he somehow destroyed the fence down here with his infantry. His engineers, he spammed engineers. He researched demo packs, somehow got through the fence, demo packed his opponent's HQ, and blew it up and won. Guys, that was a game. That's maybe on my YouTube somewhere if you can find it. I don't think so, actually. I don't have a lot of Company Heroes games on my YouTube. That was before YouTube. That was back in the day when shoutcasts were MP3 files you would upload. People would download them and sync them up with the replay. How far we've come. Now we're on Twitch. Now we're live. We're live, folks. We're live watching a clown car drive around to get 0 kills so far, but is being kind of a pain in the ass. We have double squad capping here. Presumably the engineers are going to clear things up now for the conscripts to leave, but that turns out to be no. Maybe they're hanging out there because they're worried opponent's going to show up. It doesn't really matter. This is not the cutoff that you need to have right now because it doesn't matter. But we do have a quick Rakettenwerfer come out, and that's basically curtains for the clown car. We don't have a Faust yet because you got to tech to something to get a Faust, so the clown car does live to fight another day, but that's not as effective as the Soviet player was hoping. We don't have any flamethrowers or anything in it. It's just a bunch of conscripts riding around, so Soviet player can be happy with having the left-hand side of the map. No, remember, the only difference between the left and the right hand in terms of resources is a VP point. Or I should just say VP, because VP stands for victory point. Unless victory point is the stuff up here at the top, and the point also gets you victory points, so it's a victory point point. But the map just says it's a victory point, not a victory point point. So I should just say VP, not VP point. But yeah, that's the only extra thing over on the right-hand side, resources-wise. Terrain-wise, obviously, the right-hand side is very urban, and the left-hand side is very rural. So the left-hand side, as you can see, is red, voted for Trump. The right-hand side is blue, voted for Clinton. And if only there had been slightly more things on the right-hand side, we wouldn't be in the fucking jam we are. But the Electoral College pays attention to the size of the territory, not the number of points. So even though there's an extra VP over here, the size of the territory wins out, and fucking Kansas ruins the entire United States. Go fuck yourselves. People talking about Tales of Heroes, Bridger and Vittensby in Twitch. That is why I got into Company of Heroes. I watched Bridger and Vittensby casting in Tales of Heroes. that was cool. And I wanted to be just like them. So of course I tried to get a conjoined twin, so I could be 2 in 1 like Bridger and Fitnessby, but it didn't work out. My conjoined twin died. Went through sewed a lot of people to my body, and they all died, and eventually I gave it up. I realized, Tycho, you gotta be your own man. You gotta be your own person. And that's really unfortunate. These Stern Pioneers get caught at the last minute laying the mine, eat a lot of damage on that first burst, because you take huge damage when you're repairing or building. The mine gets rebuilt, the mine doesn't get finished. Or did it get finished? This looks done. I think it's done, guys. But anyways, now they know it's there, so no one's going to drive over it, which is really, really bad, because that would have been the chance to kill the clown car. Could have driven over the mine. And kaboom, probably wouldn't drive over the mine. It's rare that you see vehicles this close to a capture point, because they have to path around it, so they usually just drive rather far around it. But, you know, that was your chance to kill something. Somebody in Twitch chat saying, Tycho, you can still play the 2 personalities right now. I could. But will I, is the question. It's all about having the mental fortitude to do so. So is that mine? Is that mine a mine? I think the mine's a mine. Place your bets now. Is the mine a mine? If you're in Twitch chat, tell me whether you think the mine is a mine or just a, oh, it's a mine. Why would you do that? Oh my god. Oh my god, you even have minesweepers, my friend. Don't tell me you didn't see the mine being built when you drove your half-track over there. That's got to be the only possible explanation. That or just lazy pathing. You right-click over here and you're like, it'll be fine. It's not fine. It blows up and your conscript squad dies. And you lose the game, guys. You lose the game because of that. Jesus. Place your bets now. Was that a misclick, or did the Soviet player not know a mine was there? Holy shit. I guess what happened is the Soviet player was over microing here. Back when the Sturm Pioneers were laying it, they had clicked their half-track over here, and by the time they looked over to micro the half-track, all they saw was that they had scared off some Sturm Pioneers. That must have been what happened, so they never knew the mine was there in the first place. It's a comedy of errors, guys. It's if you're not looking at the right spot on the map at the right time, you can miss some things, and then things happen. But it's certainly not getting the Soviet player down. He's got real great map control, doesn't have the fuel here on the left, but at least it's neutral, and even has some guards rifle out for his trouble. The downside, of course, is that now we have the dread of everybody who hates things with a 2 in their name, the Panzer II. Also the dread of everybody who hates things with Lukes in their name, because it's the Panzer II Lukes. So really just bad news for somebody who doesn't like 2 or Lukes. Like that's a real nightmare fuel for those people. I've never met any of them, but I'm sure they exist. That's what Rule 34 is, right? If I'm getting that correct. Let's go over to Twitch chat. Somebody says that was a Jewish laugh. Great. Someone banned that guy real quick. We've got Guard's Rifle meeting the Panzer II, so kind of gets suppressed somehow. Oh, I was like, wow, since when does the Panzer II suppress people? That's surprising, but it turns out there's a machine gun behind the slight hill, so it's hard to tell the machine gun's there, because when it fires, all the bullets go into the ground immediately. But as we all know, bullets going into the ground is merely a cosmetic effect in real life, and in the game, Relic recreated that accurately. Bullets tunnel through the hill and find their true target, in this case suppressing the Guards Rifle, which keeps the Panzer II more or less alive, but there's another Guards Rifle squad, and they're actually now outside the arc of the MG34, so this could be bad for the Panzer II. It's getting kind of low, but it's probably just going to be able to keep reversing the whole time. Somehow there's a Rakettenwerfer over here. Who knows what that's for? I don't know what those Minesweeper guys are doing. And the Guards Rifle are able to just keep advancing forward, because that's what you do when you're Guards Rifle against the Panzer II. You just push it off the map, and that's some badly needed breathing room for the Soviet player. Also some good micro for the Soviet player, getting around the MG34 with those 2 Guards Rifle squad, one getting suppressed and the other getting outside of the arc. So good positioning. Kudos to the Soviet player, and for that, and for the fact that the Soviet player is still microing this infantry over on the right-hand side, the Soviet player is rewarded with still excellent map control 9 minutes into the game. Still has basically control of this map, doesn't have this fuel, but again, it's neutral, and things are looking pretty tip-top for the Soviets, considering they are very badly outmatched, having lost that armored car with all conscript squad inside. They're not teched far enough to take on the Panzer II with anything except the guard's rifle. Let's head over to Twitch chat to see Ami Polizei Funk saying, "My friend is Jewish. Ban Ami Polizei Funk." The Volksgrenadiers have STG. Oof, don't flame the Panzer II, guys. That's not the plan. The Volksgrenadiers have STG 44s, but they're not moving in close for some reason. This is a nice attack on the retreat. Oh, we're going to have an AT grenade a bit. Yep, hoorah over AT grenades, snared it, damaged engine, and the second guard's squad is coming up, so this could be bad for the Panzer II. We should be looking over here to see what is up with this fight. These people in the building are taking lots and lots of damage. Yeah, the problem with the flamethrower is that if you get in a big old building like that, it's a nice place to hang out, but you're going to take a lot of damage from people at long range where you can't fight back because you have a flamethrower, and the guards, as I sort of suspected, are not fast enough to catch the Panzer II. It has this nice road to retreat down, and even with the damaged engine backing up, it's fast enough to, with a head start like that, stay out the way out of the out of the guard's rifle. So, nice attempt by the Soviets, but not going to catch the tank at that point. The snare was still important. The AT grenade on that Panzer II was still important, of course, to save the retreating conscript squad. But actually, come to think of it, no, it wasn't, because if they had chased the retreating conscript squad, if they had chased the retreating guard squad further, they would have run into the other guard squad. So that was, I think, a split-second decision by the Soviets saying, I'm going to try to take out this Panzer II, I'm going to hit it with an AT grenade and run it down with my guards, but I think he should have done the calculation that the guards were too far away. Instead, you want to let it lure itself in further, come in behind with the conscripts. That way you'll be shooting at it with the guards in the first place. Your opponent is less likely to run away because they're tempted to wipe out that other guard squad on the retreat. I think that would have been the better tactical decision. It's a very tough one to make on the fly. The Soviet player was probably just worried about preserving the guard squad as much as he was worried about killing the Panzer II, so that's the decision that he ended up making. But I think with the benefit of 20/20 hindsight, we can all agree that Tycho is the smartest, and that it would have been better to let that retreating guard squad lure the Panzer II in further. The conscripts could come from behind and blow the engine, and then the other guard squad could kill the Panzer II, and we'd be all in a happy place instead of where we are right now, which is desperately hoorahing towards the thing, trying to get one grenade in, and then these guards can kill it, even though it's never going to happen. It's just going to reverse. Who do you think you're playing? Somebody who does not microing their Panzer II? Wrong. You're playing somebody who's microing their Panzer II. That's the correct decision. What do we got going on in chat? Jess87 says, I heard there was a party. Tryhard said there it is. Said tryhard there is. Said, I don't know. Very hard to read Twitch chat while I'm busy giving you irreplaceable strategic insight into this match, and those guards are just getting destroyed. So it is looking like the Soviet player is going to be in a bit of trouble. We have the 170 fuel in the bank, so hopefully we'll get the teching. We do have the tier 3 up from the Soviets, but this Panzer II is just kicking a lot of butt. Soviet player paying a big price for losing that half-track over here. We don't get a little clown car with guards in the back shooting their AT rifles around, shuttling people around, and those conscripts throwing AT grenades. Oof! You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful where you leave your Panzer II lying around. Some motherfucker's gonna come by and put some holes in it, if you know what I mean. It's not a threat. It's just a warning. Okay, good luck, Minesweeper men versus the Volksgrenadiers. Volksgrenadiers have guns, which beat Minesweepers every time. Do you think are Minesweepers and like the army trained Minesweepers in World War II, or were they just people you give a mine detector to? Like, could your job just be walk around with like a robot pancake on a stick, or would you also have to like fight all the time and then be like, oh, fucking mines, I'll grab the mine detector thing? Or maybe it was both. I suspect it was sometimes the one, sometimes the other. So these guards have the DP-27, these aren't even guards, so they don't have the DP-27. So anyways, those guards have some good damage. Oof, this is going to be interesting. So they're in the building, they're suppressed, they're probably going to stay suppressed for a while if this keeps shooting at them. They're not going to stay suppressed. I lied. Tycho lied to you, and the guards are shooting at those guys. They're getting grenaded. They're hopping out. What is going on? There's so much chaos. What's going over here? Very little. There's actually an MG setup on that VP, which is interesting. These guys are getting killed, and we have an AT gun simultaneously with a T-70, more or less. The T-70 actually came out a bit before the AT gun, but excellent prediction by the Auster player. Sorry, I said Auster. It's OKW. Excellent prediction by the OKW player, getting an AT gun in time for the T-70. Kind of weird, because you already had an AT gun. This is the second Raketenwerfer for people keeping track. That's a good retreat path. Man, that's the way you're supposed to retreat on these maps. Go to the fucking corner where no one's going to hit you and then run back. Man, those guys should get a medal for best retreat path. Guys, you heard it here first. The Tycho Awards for 2018 has already been decided for the category of Best Retreat Path. Goes to that engineer squad with the mine and sweeper. These poor guys are suppressed. I told you there was a machine gun here. That was a Chekhov's gun. I set that narrative point up earlier, and now it's paying off. These guys are pinned. You thought I was just mentioning it? No, I had a reason, motherfuckers. They were going to pin those people long ago. So now we have two Raketans on the field. They're both over here, which is a bit of an interesting choice. I feel like once you have two, you put one over here and one over there. That way, when you Faust the T-70, you can follow up with the Raketenwerfers. They're hoofing it now, but it may be too little too late. Where's the Panzer II? Not even ready to go. Here come the Raketenwerfers. I don't think they're going to make it in time. Are they going to Faust again? That's got to be the plan. Now they're like, wait, that's a terrible plan. I'm leaving. Screw you guys, I'm going home. So the Soviet player is still in this, but German player, very commanding lead, I would say. Relatively good map control, although the Soviets doing much better than you would expect. Still have the cutoff. The German player has, I think, been focusing mostly on fighting, and also those two Raketens are not doing any capping, and the Panzer II isn't doing capping. Earlier, this first Raketen was capping this fuel, remember, so German player trying to get some utility out of that before the Soviets bust out with any tanks, and it's actually, in retrospect, interesting that the Soviet bot... This is slaughter, by the way. Look at these Soviet squads. This is terrible. The Soviet's microing over here. No, the Soviet isn't microing over here. What's going on? The Soviet's microing these guys, I guess. Yeah, interesting that the Soviet player decided to get a T-70, which is sitting on its ass right now, knowing the German player already has an AT gun out there. And now there's two AT guns, so it's an interesting choice. It just shows you what kind of damage the Panzer II is doing, I guess, to the Soviets. The choice to get something that will barely counter the Panzer II and also rough up the infantry a bit rather than trying to hop, skip, and jump to something that could potentially stand up to the Raketens. I guess the Soviet armor is relatively weak all around except the KV-1, which is shit, so you never get it. So you figure, yeah, no, Raketens are going to fuck me up no matter what. Might as well get something lithe and nimble that can slip away from the Raketens. Let's see what's up in Twitch chat. In Germany, we have a saying, Versuchet der Findet. Verdraufrit verschwindet. Verschwindet. Sadly, you can't translate that. Well, that was going to be my next question, so great, great. Very helpful. Rubber luck. Your NG regiments would probably have been trained, although I missed the crab flail on the Shermans. Yeah, crab. Raise your hand if you played Company Heroes 1. You remember the crab flail on the Sherman. Oh yeah, nobody ever used that. Kodachrome used that. These are the guys with the DP-27. I say DP-27. I may be making the 27 up. That number may be coming straight out of my ass, so don't get too invested in that number. This is just a crazy. This is just such a bloody fight. The Soviet infantry is really taking it on the chin, but they never give up, and they're really not losing a lot of squads either. Getting some good damage on their Raketenwerfer, but largely squads emerging, not unscathed but undestroyed from these sort of things. They're pinned all the time. They're hurt all the time. They're destroyed all the time somehow, whatever that was, but never dead. And here's the T-70 trying a hero moment. Here's the hero moment. Bum 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 bum. And the Panzer II very briefly considered being a hero and then realized, wait, I lose that fight. I don't think the Panzer II would actually have lost that fight. I think it probably could have won if it got some good penetrations, especially because the T-70 was going ass end forward, ass end backward. It was showing its butt, that's what I'm saying. So here we go teching from the Soviet player. I think this is what it takes to get back into the game for real. The Soviet player has been playing a real hard-fought, hard Scrabble game to keep a hold of the map so far, but it's going to take something from Tier 4, I think, to really bust this nut open and claw their way back to victory. What's Twitch chat up? It basically says, who's searching will find it, who's stepping on it disappears, but it rhymes in this way. Cool. That's completely translatable. That's 100% translatable. I understand exactly what the saying says now. Jesus, and it's about mines, I guess. So that's what happens when you look away from your squad for a moment. Rest in peace. That's the end of the Sturm Pioneers, which is also really unfortunate because they were the only ones who could repair, but the German player did spring for the upgrade. These little repair guys, we saw them earlier repairing Panzer II, so that's a nice thing on a small map like Ingeville where you're never very far from your base. If you spring for those repair guys, they'll sort of keep your vehicles in tip-top shape, so that can often be worth it on this map. I highly recommend it. Comes Tycho recommended, and if something comes Tycho recommended, you know its quality is assured. Also rebuilt some Sturmpinos, so it's a bit of a moot point. Rubber Luck. The Luke supposedly had target tables applied to it that made it less potent AT, but I find the Luke still does crazy reliable damage to the AAC and other light vehicles. I don't think target tables exist in Company Heroes 2. That's not a thing. They might have tried to nerf it versus vehicles, but it wasn't via target tables, I believe. Unless they added those at some point, which would very much surprise me. But I've been surprised by other things before. Like, did you know that in the time it takes Pluto to make one orbit around the sun, nobody gives a fuck? That might surprise you. So there goes the flamethrower people. The T-70 wants to be a hero, and then it's like, wait, no, and not a moment too soon, because there's 2 Raketenwerfers here. And we have the T-34, so here's the chance for the Russian to get back into this game. I apologize for my chair. The Russian, this is it. This is the moment. This is the moment. Are you hyped? Let's get some Russian hype. What does that say? Preparia. What could it mean? Wow, so that was a fucking blitz from the T-34 coming in, scaring off the 2 Raketenwerfers who now have to retreat. The T-34, I think being a little bold. This strikes me as overbold. It wants to kill the Panzer II, but this I think is a bad idea for reasons that are readily apparent now that the Raketens are set up. That I think was, that was a Faust on the front. It turns out that backing into the base turned out to work out perfectly well, because when you reverse out of the base, your front is showing, and that means you're safe from the Panzerfaust. You don't lose an engine, and had you lost an engine, you would have died right there, but you didn't lose an engine, so you didn't. Are you going back in? What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay, get the fuck out of there. You nearly lost your T-34. You were just lucky that the 2 Raketenwerfers didn't set up and blow them up. Don't go back in. Oh, well, what? The tides have turned again. I wasn't paying enough attention to the fuel. Good. Here's command tank. Rubber Luck in Twitch chat. I'll double check, but I'm almost positive I read target tables in the December patch notes. Well, double check, because I'm curious too now. So somehow the Soviet player has just been playing his fucking ass off. He controls the entire map, despite, I feel like at every moment, being on the back foot in terms of army potential. It's just excellent positioning and excellent usage of units that has given him control of everything. It's all red. It's all red, folks. Look at this. It's all red. And all the German units are in the base. This is like a reset button. I'm excited to see where this goes from here.
We are losing territory.
Nothing's happening. I'm not excited anymore. Now I'm excited again. Stuff is with these. So a conscript scouting squad, 2 conscript scouting squads. Very good. We have a new combat engineer squad to repair, the Su-85. So we have an Su-85 and a T-34. The T-34 going ham on some Post Raiders. This is going to be a fight, guys. This is going to be a real fight. The Panther's going to come in. It doesn't know the Su-85 is there yet. Probably has an intimation that there's going to be something because the Soviet player has both fuel. And here we go. The engagement has been joined. Half health off the T-34 for the first shot off the Panther. Bounces, and then we got a Raketen. This is going to be bad for the Soviets. It's over. It's over, guys. It's all falling apart. T-34 is not long for the world. Su-85 can now be circle strafed. Oh, but the guards, maybe the guards will save us. Will the guards save everything? Told you they'll get circle strafed. Are the guards going to button? They're buttoning. But it's a recharge. What are they buttoning? What did we button? Did we button the... I don't know. Well, I think it's over. I think the Soviets lost. You can come back from this, but it's going to be tough. Remember, we have no AT guns from the Soviets. We don't even... oh, we do have Tier 2. What am I talking about? Why did I think we didn't have Tier 2? Why do we have Tier 2? Someone please explain to me in quick succession, number 1, why did I not think there was Tier 2? And number 1, why is there Tier 2? Why would you build a Tier 2? I mean, you build it so you can build AT guns, but he hasn't built any AT guns. He hasn't built any Maxims. He hasn't built any mortars. There hasn't been anything. So I really appreciate the spunk and moxie of the Soviet player. Still got complete control of the right-hand side of the map. mostly control the left-hand side of the map, has got some good damage in on the Panther from these guards' rifle. We've seen them chip away stronger things than this. If you go back a long, long, long way in my YouTube archives, you can find a shoutcast where guards' rifle basically chased an elephant halfway across the map. It was a Coloniferma winter, maybe, or Coloniferma spring. Chased an elephant halfway across the map from more or less full health and killed it. So the guards' rifle, you really can't discount them entirely. It's death by 1,000 paper cuts, but they don't get the kill on the Panzer II. They don't get the kill on the Panther. They get the gun on the Panther somehow. Yeah, so that's the only hope for the Soviets, really, just some fucking guards' rifle, because they don't have a super tank at the end of this. They have a KV-1 heavy tank, I suppose, but that doesn't really count. You look at what this costs, 400, 145, and it's really not worth more than the Su-85 or even the T-34. It's just shit. It's shit like from a butt. So, yeah, somebody in Twitch chat says AT gun building. So, yeah, Suter is guessing that the Soviets went tier 2 for AT gun building, and that's what I guessed too, but, oh, maybe you meant AT gun building as in there is an AT gun being built. In which case, I salute you, good player, because you have outthought me. You have outfoxed me. I have been undone. Man, guards' rifle just hanging out in the building, taking pot shots at the Panzer II, both of them getting some vet. They're already at vet 3, so they don't care. The Panzer II is like, fine, I'll take the vet. I'll be vet 4. I'll have a extended range main gun through the use of advanced targeting and sighting equipment. What kind of advanced equipment? Nobody knows. Why does it have to be advanced equipment? Why can't it just be better? Why can't it just be plain old human ingenuity? Someone tell me that. Tell me that, Relic. Relic, why don't you trust humans? These guys are, this is a fun fight. They've got their incendiary rounds pumped. I don't know why you would do... People do that sometimes to fight infantry. If you're fighting at this range against people in a building, so few of your bullets are going to be hitting that it's really not worth spending the money to turn those bullets into incendiary rounds, because so few hit that it doesn't matter how much damage you're doing. It's just ineffective at this range. So, in a feat of prowess that I honestly cannot explain, the Soviet player still has control of this entire map. Fucking guards' rifle in a building appear to have been holding off the entire enemy force on the right, and we even have a machine gun killed on the left. The German player is just not able to blitzkrieg effectively with this Panther and this Panzer II. They just take too much damage when it happens. The first time because they had to take on a T-34 and an A-85, and then everything after that they've just been afraid of guards' rifle, I suppose, not able to just drive in with impunity, and also afraid of potential AT guns waiting in the wings, which turns out to be what happened. We have an Ura here certainly to get an AT grenade off, but they aren't able to get into range. The AT gun whiffs its first shot against the Panther anyway, so now the jig is up, the game is up. The German player knows there's an AT gun there. The German player is going to be, if anything, more cautious, which does play into the Soviet player's hands. This cautious play has been rewarding the Soviet player quite a bit with so much map control. But I guess ideally you would have the German player be under-cautious and lose a tank. That would be a better scenario, but this is a good second best scenario. I think the Soviet player is probably pretty happy with how things are playing out, considering the rather dire position they're in. With this much map control, pretty soon we can maybe turn the position into one that's not so dire anymore, if you think about it. Twitch chat says, NOS still not spreading out infantry to cap territories. Yeah, NOSLO is not spreading out the infantry. So, I mean, the thing is, it's tough to assault, I guess. Maybe worried about mines or something. Yeah, you would expect maybe Noslo to head to the right, but I guess it's just a pain in the ass. When you head over there, Noslo's like, look, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to blob on the left. And I think this is a situation where blobbing makes a lot of sense. Your opponent doesn't have any machine guns, remember, so the main anti-blob tool is not there. And you can do these sorts of things. See, when you roll over the enemy like this, this works. This is the attack the German player has been trying to make for the last 10 minutes, and it's working. It's finally working. Somehow the T-70 is still alive. This is extremely surprising, but it's being repaired. Once the Fox radiators open up on those guys, they're immediately gonna melt. That's the end of that. That's a nice grenade. These guards' rifle are probably gonna be the MVP here. Whoa! It's a grenade. It's another grenade. That's the end. Nope. Are they gonna get out? Red cover, yellow cover. They're out. They're out, guys. They made it. They made it. Colin P says, look at my butt in chat. No thanks. And these guys said, wow, Soviet player really not giving up. Doesn't have to give up. Guys. Players, folks, friends, friendos. We have it. We have it. It's here, the KV-1. The terrible, terrible KV-1. The tank that nobody builds. Because why would you? It's the heaviest thing the Soviet player can roll out, and the Soviet player is like, look, desperate times call for desperate measures. Colin P says, I was role-playing the Panther. And I said, look at my butt. Great. Suitor says, KV-1, question mark? Yep, question mark is right. It's getting owned from the front by a Panther, immediately regrets its decision to come to this battle. It's like, why can't I go in another video game where I'm a good tank? Are there any tanks? Are there any video games where this is good? Is it good in Steel Battalion? If anyone in chat plays Steel Battalion, or if anyone on YouTube plays Steel Battalion, post in the comments. Is the KV-1 a worthless piece of shit? Like it is here. But I am excited. You don't get to see these very often, so I want to see what happens. See what happens with the KV-1. Oh, Hodges87 says it got buffed. KV-1 is nice now. So you know who's lying to me? Romeo, I believe, said it was terrible. Never gonna trust that motherfucker again. Honestly, for most of my life, I never trusted anything Romeo said. I started trusting him about 2 hours ago, and now I'll never do it again. So thank you, Hodges87. You've taught me a valuable lesson. And now I'm even double pumped to see where this KV-1 goes, because I would love to see the Soviet player win this. He certainly has fought hard enough to deserve it. There's been some really excellent play, all on the back of losing that half-track real early, and what I'm going to say is a fairly excusable move, and it's been uphill battle from there for the Soviets, and he's been doing an excellent job. J for Jet says it got buffed, KV-1 still sucks now. Okay, I'm back to trusting Romeo. It has a 0.8 damage incoming buff now. I'm not super interested in that. What I want is a gun. If the KV-8 had a gun that could shoot people, that would be the shiznit. But instead, the KV-8 has kind of like a decorative gun. We want to talk about decorative guns. The thing on the back is a decorative gun. It's killing the Panzer II, though. The Vet 5 Panzer II. Well, we're counting on the side. 2 Raketens on the... This could get bad. Look at this. You're fucking trying to tell me it's a good tank. Don't give me that shit. Don't give me that shit. Don't give me any of that shit. And it fucking misses the Panther. Don't give me that shit. Oh, the Panther misses it. Okay. It can't shoot at long range, says Hedges87. Kenny Dota says it has a damage reduction, but they reduced its health by 20% as well. Well, then what the fuck is that? Its damage output sucks, but it has better survivability, says Rubber Luck. Great. I don't want survivability. I want a gun. I want a gun on my tank. If I wanted survivability, I'd just buy buildings, because those are hard to kill. I want a gun. Some fucking debris really going extra. Fucking trying out for the Bolshoi Ballet here. The texture on the bottom also not so great. You can tell it's mirrored too. See? You see that sort of Rorschach pattern? The ink blot test? What do you see? I see a scarab. I see a beetle. These are its eyes, these are its mandibles, this is the chitinous thing, that's its head, and these are its legs, that's its legs. So that's what I see. If you'd like to psychoanalyze me, go right ahead. Truck. So Twitch chat said they made it so the KV-8 repairs, or KV-1 repairs faster, which is great, because that's what I need, a big old fucking thing to weld. Why did they stop welding it? Why they keep not welding it? Weld that shit. Weld it. Weld it good and hard. Man, look at the VPs. Soviet player's gonna win. Do you think the Soviet player's gonna win? Hansu says, no, it's a skull like a tiki head or something from Spunk. Great. The beauty of it is that everyone sees something different. I thought the Panther was gonna try and crush. The Panther didn't try and crush. We just killed a squad here. Fox-Raiders or some shit. Is the German player going to lose to VPs, guys? Is that what's going to happen? Those conscripts giving their life to keep that VP, these conscripts giving their life to keep the VP, may even kill the Fox-Raiders because they've got PPSHs. Those conscripts are retreating, these conscripts are grenaded. The grenade was also on the Fox, which was kind of an oversight, and although they have Vet 5, they've now got to get out, and the German player is feeling the crunch, guys. The crunch is real. The Tier 4 is here. Tier 4 has to get up. The Panther really needs to keep people away from the Tier 4 while it gets established. If this AT guns rolls in and kills the Tier 4, that's going to be a pain in the ass. These guys are over here fighting the Panzer II. The Panzer II is going to have to back off, so that's an excellent job by the Soviet player, getting some good stuff in here. These are, oh, they're ready. They're ready for the KV-1. The British and German player correctly identified what was going to come, but then the IS-2 is coming to clear out the Raketens. One is already, I think actually that was cleared out by the IS-2. Good airplane, man. Good airplanes. It's this might be curtains for the Germans. They're capping this, and they capped that, but oof, both Raketens decrewed. Run fast, fast like a leopard. How fast are you gonna run? As fast as a leopard. Oof, these guys might give their lives. They're Vet 3. They're Vet 3. Ooh, these guys are hard asses. Oh, well, down to one. Man. You are the last man standing. Congratulations, you. Oh, what was that? The guards came in and killed him. Fucking guy just won a match of PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, and then the guards come in. It's like, zoop, boom. You're dead. Wipe yourself off. You're dead. Where's that from? Will Smith in Men in Black? I don't know. I think Will Smith said it. It's a breakthrough tank, plain and simple, says Rubber Luck. Die Hard, bro. Die Hard. Wasn't Will Smith. He wasn't Men in Black. John McClane. Thank you. Thank you for that. I've only seen Die Hard a couple times. I feel like I'm not a Die Hard fan. Do you get it? 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 It's because I said Die Hard twice. Once it meant Die Hard and once it meant the movie. Who's gonna win? I feel like the German player kind of can't win just because the VPs are so low. You really gotta come back. Like the Soviet player is burdened with this god-awful piece of shit tank. But this is the end. You button that thing. It's right in the hornet's nest. You are in the lion's den and the hornet's nest simultaneously, getting fucked from all the different holes that are being opened up in you. This is bad. It's over. This Panther is not getting out of here. You don't drive into a button when there's two people with the AT grenades right there. It's over. It's over. That was the last. That was it. That was the swan song. They decrew the AT gun, but too little, too late. Right? The KV-1 is going to do a fucking thing and kill this thing, right? I shouldn't have got my hopes up. Obviously, the KV-1 is not going to kill anything, but, yeah, it has literally 0 kills for those keeping score at home. Is it going to kill? Is it going to kill? No, it's not going to kill anything. Is it going to back into the... Is it going to shoot? Is it going to kill? Are you going to die? They're as clumped up as you can... See, that's just asking for it, and instead the KV-1 is like, you know what I'd rather do? Get Fausted. Oh, it killed a person. Oh no, 2 people. It's killed 2 people. Hey, is the cosmetic machine... The cosmetic machine gun is firing. Okay, I take it all back. KV-1 is the best tank in the game because it can shoot forwards and backwards simultaneously. Name me another tank that can do that. I'll wait. Twitch chat says, Rush Hour. It was Rush Hour. Yeah, you motherfuckers. It was a black guy, so I feel bad that I confused Chris Tucker with Will Smith because I'm racist, but... It was definitely not Die Hard. It was Chris Tucker in Rush Hour. And that's the game. So, that was a really good game. All from that crazy mine that took out the clown car in the beginning. We then saw the Soviet player put on a clinic. And then, at the very end, things got dicey because there was the KV-1, which is in its to lose button, but... The Soviet player still pulled it out, so huge respect to the Soviet player. Excellent play. Nozlu is a very good player, as you know if you've watched my other casts, so great. Loved it.